I'm muted. Hey, it's Danny L. Ross, licensed professional counselor supervisor, and I am indeed excited to be with you tonight. We have a special show. I have a great friend and a partner in this work that we do related to grief and loss, and she is here to help educate us tonight. Looking so forward to being here, and I'm thankful that you guys are giving us a part of your evening to help you get through the holidays or to share this information with someone else who needs it as well. I want to share and set the tone for tonight. We're not here to fix your problem or to fix your grief, but we're on a walk together. And part of what we're doing tonight is just aiding you with some ideas, some tools, and some things that could be really, really helpful to you as you go through this holiday season. I've created a number of courses that can be helpful this holiday season, which is my holiday bundle that I'll share with you more in the near future. But let me introduce Dr. Tonya Cunningham, who is a phenomenal grief expert. And she has worked with countless people in helping them with their grief and their loss. And one of the things I love about Dr. Tonya, I love her heart and her willingness and her support throughout this journey. We've known each other for quite some time. And as I said, her heart is so amazing and she's always lending a hand. So let's welcome Dr. Tonya Cunningham. I am so excited to see her.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'd love for you to just say anything you want to share, a little bit about what you do, how you do it, and all those good things.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to share this space with you. And my name is Dr. Tonya Cunningham, and I'm known as the Grief Doctor. Yes. And I have been in the death care industry, grief industry for over 35 years.
Wow.
And that has really afforded me the opportunity to accompany hundreds upon thousands of people on their grief journey.
Uh-huh.
And I recognize in doing so, Danny, that a lot of people don't understand what grief is,
right.
Especially minority people and people of faith.
Right.
So as a person who is now on the other side of grief and now what I call thriving in grief, because, grief never ends. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. And just as an educator in this space, I'm really passionate about helping other people do the same.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we want to do a little education piece in the very beginning. So let's kind of talk about normalizing grief, Dr. Tonya. Can you help us in some of the normalizing grief, not making it feel like it's something that we that's foreign to the body? The body recognizes it as something that hurts, but it's also a part of the human experience. Do you care to elaborate a little bit more on that for me?
Absolutely. I love how you stated in the beginning, in the introduction, you said we're on a journey. And grief is just that. It is absolutely a journey, and we are not meant to grieve alone.
Right.
It is something that we need a space and people to kind of just accompany us on that journey. So we want to normalize that. That's why we're here tonight. First of all, let me ask, do y'all like our headpieces? Yes. So it's a holiday edition. So we came ready tonight for you guys.
Yes.
To help you and realize that, yes, grief is it brings about sadness, but you can also experience some joy as you work through the process. So we want to normalize that. This is why we're here tonight. For those of you who are on live with us and those of you that'll watch the replay, to help you realize that this is a part of the human experience and it's not taboo anymore. And that it's going to be heightened a lot of times during the holiday season. So that's why we're here, to help you know that whatever it is that you're feeling during the holiday season as it relates to grief, it is absolutely normal. You are not crazy. Do your clients ask you that a lot? Sometimes people say, am I crazy?
Do they? Am I crazy? No,
Yeah.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy.
No.
Grief is such a human part of life. But you know what, Dr. Tonya? I think one of the things that I think about often, we prepare for everything else. We learn how to get a job. We prepare how to go to how to go for an interview, how to do those different things, set ourselves up to be successful. But when it comes to grief, something we know that is going to happen, we never talk about it. It's hush, hush, like you said, in our communities and in our churches. And we talked about the pink elephant in the room this last weekend at my grief workshop, and we were talking about how grief is that pink elephant that we see all the time. But you know what we do? We'll talk around about it. We'll act like we don't see it until it becomes overwhelming, until that pink elephant starts tearing up our church, tearing us up as individuals. So, you know, it takes something before we get the help that we need.
Right.
So I'm so happy that you're here tonight. And what I want from you, audience, I want you to engage with us tonight. We're not here so you can just look at us. We want you to participate. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear how life is treating you with grief. Part of your healing is through the words, through the stories, and being okay and sharing. I really, really love sharing the stories because they still make me feel as though I'm close to my loved one or that person that is no longer with us. So wanting you to be interactive and making sure that you participate. Let me hear where you're from. Let me see where you're from. Let me see who's here tonight and who is going to talk to us tonight. So I want to go ahead and start, Dr. Tonya. I want to start with, how do we handle grief during the holidays? How do we handle grief during the holidays? How would you suggest to someone that we handle grief during the holidays?
Well, my suggestion would be what I share oftentimes, even when it's not during the holiday season, but definitely, especially during this particular time, is acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you feel. Because with the holidays, it comes the sights, the sounds, the smells, and what do we have? The greeting is Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving. And a lot of times for a person in grief, it may not be a happy time for them. So really don't pressure yourself to be merry. Just give yourself permission to just be whatever arises, it comes up. Sadness, anger, loneliness, or even moments of joy. Because I have a lot of people I work with, they feel guilty for even being happy or experiencing joy. So that would be the first thing I would say, to know that it is okay to not be okay in this season. And it's absolutely also okay to even smile. So acknowledge it.
Exactly. And, you know, and being comfortable with the pain and joy also residing at the same time. Sometimes we're like, how dare I be happy while my big mama gone? How dare I? You know, big mama knew about grief and she knew about joy. And oftentimes, if I know the big mamas I know, they would want you to celebrate them versus just being in that place of gloom all the time. Now, we're not saying that you don't have those moments where you feel down and out sometimes, but we don't want to stay there.
That's right.
We don't want to stay there. We want you to have some joy in your life. So I'm going to ask this next question. How can someone get through the first holiday season without their loved one? This is one I hear all the time, and I have a couple of clients who are dealing with this, Dr. Tonya. So I would love to hear your perspective.
Okay. So when it comes to grief, David Kessler, he's another expert out there, and he talks about this kind of timeline, knowing where you are with in your grief, because we can have anticipatory grief. Acute grief is right when it happens. Anticipatory is before the loss happens, and then you move into early grief and then mature grief. So people who are in that first year is moving from acute grief to early grief. So for people who are experiencing, you said this is like for the first time again, with kind of like what I mentioned initially, as it relates to acknowledgement, but really giving yourself that permission to feel because you
Right.
cannot heal
Right. That
until
permission to
you
feel.
feel. You got to be able to feel. And then secondly, I would encourage a person, especially if this is the first one, is to plan ahead, but hold the plans loosely.
Yes.
Meaning, again, you can make a plan what you want to do, who you want to spend it with. Listen to this, who you don't want to spend it with, and
come on now, come on,
because you can have grief because of somebody else in your life giving you grief. Yeah.
And you know, I think another thing that's interesting too, people are, I don't know if they're aware or not aware, but the relationships before the person who passed may not be the same. The holiday may not even be the same. You may respond differently. I remember it was Memorial Day, and I think my mom had just passed, and I was going home to do the, you know, we doing the barbecue like we normally do it.
Yep.
And it hit me all of a sudden. I don't have my normal or typical role that I do with my mom. I was my mom's chauffeur. When she was ready to go, let's go.
She's ready to go.
So it hit me in that moment of a holiday that, oh, we probably gonna have to reframe this differently.
I love it.
Than what I'm normally used to. And you said something too earlier about during the holiday season, we're heightened. We have this heightened kind of expectation. Talk to me a little bit more about that. I love that.
Because the expectation during the holiday season is you are expected to be happy. You're expected to participate in all of the functions. You're expected, again, to do all of these things because the holidays are steeped in tradition.
Exactly.
And you kind of mentioned that. You said, I had to realize that, man, my mom is not here and the roles have shifted. Because what I've discovered, one of the biggest mistakes that we can make in grief is we try to go back to the life that we had before the person died. And that part of you died too, meaning that version of you. So you can no longer experience that. So yeah, when you're talking about heightened, something else that I've learned in my experience and practice is that, Danny, if there is unaddressed grief, it's going to come up to the surface as well with this current loss. So that makes the overall experience heightened even more because if there's you have a current loss, but then there's some other losses that you haven't dealt with. And I've learned that every loss demands a response. Somebody needs to put that in the chat.
Say that again. Say that again, because I want that. I want to hear that right.
Yes. Every loss demands a response. Like, you know, like Jesus say, I'm knocking at the door.
Come on.
Grief is knocking at the door, and it really does demand a response for us to open it up so that we can process.
Wow.
Every loss.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm going to take that one. Well, one of the things I was thinking in session, and I was thinking in session actually, but while I was preparing for the presentation, I had this idea. We talk about, you know, anger, and it's like the iceberg. Yeah. And there's the top part of it, and then there's the below part of it. Woo. And for me, I think about, we see grief. And we don't ever talk about what's below grief. We got anger, we got guilt, we got fear, we got loneliness, we have regret, anxiety, confusion, numbness, depression, isolation, confusion. Now I'm about to get into our business. This is where we go. I don't want to let anybody know how he died or she died.
Yes.
Disenfranchised grief. You feel shame and sharing, and it creates a complexity in your life. Family secrets that come out after the person that come on, you know
that we got to put that on for us to do in 2026. You know, we talked about that. I was just sharing with a client today. I said, I know there is something to do with this that says family secrets that heal.
Ooh, that's good. I'm writing that down.
Family secrets that heal. And I experienced that personally. I'm like, man, it wasn't until I started healing and started asking my family these questions. And that's when the healing even came forth even more.
Exactly.
So you're right. We have to be vulnerable and be okay with that so that we can process. Because when you talked about all of these things, when we say grief, most people don't know what that looks like.
They don't.
And anger is one of the top ones. People think grief is only displayed or demonstrated through sadness.
Right.
Anger is a huge response. You over there chopping everybody's head off. I just asked you to pass me the salt. And you just bit my head off. That's grief. That's a demonstration of grief.
And to piggyback off of what you said, sometimes I think in our communities, and I'm not saying this is everybody, sometimes we don't have the language.
There you go.
Sometimes we don't have the language. And I think about, like, we want kids to get over it. We want them to be better. But y'all don't even know what's going on with you. You can't even say you depressed. You can't even say you sad. You can't even say you angry. And I'm wondering what's going on with her. What's going on with you? Okay, I'm on it tonight. What's going on with you? Because we try to save somebody else when we need the saving first.
Woo! The best gift that you as a parent can give your child, or you as a spouse can give your spouse, anything, is the healed version of you.
Ooh, come on now. The healed version.
That's a gift. And so many people, I get a lot of calls, and I bet you do too. But people say, I know somebody grieving, and what can I do to help them? Have you dealt with your grief? That's how you help them.
That's right.
Deal with yours first. Then you can deal with the child. And of course, as a parent, you want to care for your child. But you have to make sure you're doing your grief work as well to help the child.
And another thing, I think we wait until something happens to really examine our faith. What is it you believe? What is it you really believe? What is it when your daughter or your child comes to you and say, hey, mama, where big mama going? Where big mama, and I heard this, if this.
That's right.
What do you believe in your faith? And all I'm saying is, I'm not here to dictate it to you. Absolutely. But know what you believe so that you can share your belief with the person who needs to help understand. Now, they don't have to agree with it. Exactly. But I also think sometimes we don't even know what we believe. I know your experience is sometimes we just say some junk.
Yes.
So I'm like, who told you that? When? How?
Yes, I've experienced people. The majority of my clientele are people of faith out of the Black church, which I'm so excited about that, because we need to normalize. The pandemic really, in my opinion, came and helped us to normalize, grief, which has been around since the beginning of time. But it raised awareness to let us know that we cannot spiritualize everything. So a lot of the people I work with, their faith absolutely is challenged because we've been taught certain things about grief and things like that. So I want to help people understand we have faith and feelings.
We do. Faith and feelings. That's another one.
Yes.
Faith and feelings. We can attend to both. They're part of the whole experience. Yes.
There you go. You said the key word is the whole experience.
Come on. Now, you said something earlier that I kind of want to go into. And I think about that person who says, oh, but I'm sad. I just don't want to, I don't want to go. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to celebrate. What do I do with that person? And say, for instance, we are, I'll say 3 to 6 months in. What would you typically recommend that person who's still not wanting to participate in life or wanting to be a part of things and still just wanting to resign themselves to just kind of be going inward and being at home? When do we get nervous about that?
Okay.
That's a combination of things. I mean,
that's right. You said a whole lot, right?
I did. I had to get something back.
Let's see. The first observation I would say is that you must be an active participant in your own healing. I don't care how much you go to therapy, you pray. Each of us, you must participate in your own healing because no one's coming to rescue you.
That's good.
We have to rescue ourselves based upon I'm coming to Danny, he's going to give me tools, and then the real work begins when I leave his office. Start doing the quote unquote work. So let me just say that part, that we have to do the homework.
Right.
And so after being an active participant now, what I've discovered is that within that first year, the grief is fresh. And so you're in what I call the bubble, at least 6 months to 9 months of that first year. So it is absolutely normal to not feel like being festive. I don't feel like doing these things. And if that's where you are, be okay with that. Okay. Like we talked about earlier, the reframe it is what you said. It's going to be different. The holidays are going to be different. And the whole goal is to work towards creating new memories. But if it's very new within the 6 months, I would just encourage you not to try to create something or create an experience and you're not there.
So Dr. Tonya, when do I get a little worried about my loved one? Like, what time period would you get a little worried if they're still in that place of they're longing for the loved one? They can't detach. They want them back at all costs. They're going to the graveyard every day. They haven't moved on to anything.
Okay. So my experience and working with people going into year 2. So we just talked about year 1. You're in the fog, really. So the truth is year 2 can be more difficult than year 1.
Yeah.
And the reason why is you're fully out of what Kubler-Ross calls the shock phase or denial. You're realizing Big Mama is not coming back.
Yeah.
This is year 2. So if you are kind of towards the end of midway year 2, end of year 2, definitely going into year 3. And here's the question I ask. Does the pain of grief still feel like the person just died? That's a good gauge. Because grief, what is it? It's an internal emotional response to absolutely any kind of loss. So things, when we say emotional and hormonal, chemical, those are things that's happening. Because look at me now. I could be like this. I just had a death and I could be looking at you like this. But I'm still grieving on the inside.
Yeah.
Which means there's necessary work to do. So you want to be able to give yourself that space and grace to do that. But if the pain still feels like, I'm like, Danny, your mom died 3 years ago. And you say, it feel like, Tonya, it just feel like she died yesterday.
Yep.
What that's going to tell me, okay, Danny, you haven't been doing your work. Because the pain will lessen as you go. That pain of grief is what's supposed to lessen as you go. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. I heard this, I don't know, I don't want to lie, but it was this artist, and he was talking about his brother had died. And he basically said, if his brother can't be here, he can't go on with his life and things like that. And I was just like, I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
I was like, it kind of hit me because I'm like, somebody get him and take him to see a professional because there's some error in his thinking when it comes to how he should be living for his brother. Yes. And we gonna make this real because we both from the church.
Come on.
Now, I was messing with the audience at my last presentation, and I said, have y'all ever heard the person say, ooh, you know, she ain't broke yet. She ain't broke. She ain't break. She got a break.
Woo!
call the class. She got a break. Why? For you?
For you? Come on. Why?
We got to get out of this place to where the grief is supposed to look a certain way. And I remember I did a presentation the day after my mom died. Now, was just as you were just saying, was I sad? Was I grieving? Was it hurtful to me? Mm-hmm. Yes, all of that. But as you progress, as you have losses, if you walk away from the loss and you're still doing grief the same way, you ain't learning.
No,
you ain't growing. You're missing the assignment.
Yes.
Oftentimes, my favorite thing with grief, I say grief takes, but it also gives. What is this lesson that grief is trying to teach you today? What is it that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing? What is the calling in your life that only you can do, but because you think your life is infinite, you out here just playing? No, you got a certain time frame to get it done and to do what you have been called to do. So I don't know where that came from,
you
but
preaching.
That's it.
We were gonna preach tonight.
Come on. We up in here.
Daddy, you said something key about that guy. I heard that too when he said, "My life will never be the same." So for people of faith, and even listen to this, even for people who are not connected to a faith, our words have power. I've seen many people get stuck, and we're not meant to get stuck in the pain of grief.
Come on.
So for him to say that, my life, truth, your life will never be the same. But somebody said,
come on,
there is life after loss. It's just a different one. That's what the Lord gave me.
Ooh, come on.
I learned that there is life after loss. It is just a different one. So you remember me? You remember me back in the day when we met?
Yeah.
I was conservative. Oh my God.
You and me both. Exactly. We knew how to do
way.
We know how to show up.
We would be sitting here with these things on our head.
No way. No way.
But grief gave us a gift. No way would we be doing that.
Say that part right there, Dr. Tonya. Grief gave us a gift.
He gave us a gift.
Oh, I was telling a client the other day, and I said, I would not be the person I am today had I not gone through those grief experiences.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me because I thought I would never be able to live without my loved ones.
That's right.
But I'm gonna say this, but God showed me different. I felt kept. I felt kept. And I'm very, very thankful that I didn't give up and I didn't take everybody's advice. Hear this. Don't take everybody's advice. That's where we sometimes go wrong. Advice giving. Now, if you're talking to a therapist and they have some strategies and things that have worked and proven, and we have these theories and things like that, use some of those things.
Yes.
But also, they should align with your faith.
Yes.
They should align with your faith. Go ahead.
And talking about not taking advice, that is so good. And with that, just being careful in how you deal with social media and your grief. Because a lot of people use social media as a space to just dump. And you're opening up yourself to all of these opinions. And you can't, because you're in grief and your nervous system is not healthy. So you can't decipher and understand who to receive from and who not to receive from. So I encourage a lot of people like that. Be careful with the grief, because some of us get in these chat rooms, these groups and you're in a group full of grieving people that ain't going nowhere. They don't have a leader. They don't have everybody just sad and they staying sad. Yeah. So being careful in that space when you're in grief, who you invite along the journey, because you can invite other people in who don't have the capacity nor the professional skill to navigate.
That's good. That's good. I want to talk to the people today, and I need you to go to your chat box, and I need you to type in there, I am alive. I am alive. You are not with the person who is deceased. You are alive. You are a legacy, an extension of them. You have life in you. You have breath in you. I want to see those I am alive, because sometimes there's power in our tongue. That's sometimes, all the time. There's power in our tongue. So we have to be mindful of what we're saying. I am alive. Come on now.
They blowing up the chat. They blowing it up. Listen.
Because Dr. Tonya, I did not die. And sometimes we don't die a physical death. But if we're not careful, we can let our dreams die, our hopes die, our tomorrow die, what we thought we were going to become, and we can stay in it. But you are alive. That's all I got to say. All I got to say.
He feel his help, y'all.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
That is so good, because we know that grief, again, is not just about a death loss, but in particular, as it relates to that, the best way to honor them is to live well.
Ooh.
But you cannot live well until you mourn well.
Okay.
So
I got all these notes over here.
I do too. I'm writing down what you're saying.
Well. Oh, that's good.
I've had so many clients who did not know what that meant to live well, not materialistically. I'm not saying they're going to buy it. I'm saying living well, meaning taking care of yourself in a way that you should have been doing way before the person died. So what we're doing, you're living well as a result of your mother's death. Because you're taking care of yourself. I'm living well as a result of going through that devastating divorce and burying my mother and father and all of that. But the living well, I have found that people of faith attempt to get to that space without going through the mourning process. You must go through the mourning process, which is, how you cope. How you cope with the grief on the inside.
And traditionally back in previous times, people would have, it was a respectfulness of mourning someone who died. And as us in good old America, everything becomes more compact, more processed, more, let's get to the next thing. No, slow it down. Slow it down. This is somebody you love, somebody you cared about, somebody that took space in your life. And I want you to be mindful that, grief is love with nowhere to go.
Ooh.
Grief is love with nowhere to go. And think about, I love someone, but I can't be there with them, or they can't be with me. Think about that pain. Why don't we let that pain breathe?
That's right.
We want to keep it down. We want to suppress it and be stoic. And I call it my pseudo, I'm okay. No, you're not. You're in pain. No. You mean as the devil.
That's right. Me.
I'm going to be short-tempered, unkind. Nobody wants to be around you. You mean to the kids at school. Deal with it.
Deal with it. I love that. How you say grief is no where you say is love with no place to go. Queen Elizabeth, she stated that grief is the price we pay for love.
That's it.
So when we love, the automatic human response is to grieve. So if your love is deep, your grief is going to be deep.
Ooh, that's good.
So I just, like this grief is right here. All it is love.
Right.
It's love. Yeah.
And another thing we can do too when it comes to grief is there's a power in sharing our stories. There's power in sharing our stories. Now, some people, they clam up and they close off because they've shared with the wrong person.
Mm-hmm. That part.
They share it with the wrong. You're trying to get lemonade from a beet. They don't produce that. They've never produced that. And sometimes you're looking for empathy and compassion from somebody who has never been that. Yes. And that's one of the things I go through in therapy. It ain't got to be grief. Let's just be real. You're looking for something that person has never provided you.
Never.
So we have to be mindful of, does this person have the capacity? That doesn't mean that they don't want to be there for you, but also understand the limitations. Sometimes it's just, and when we don't feel comfortable, start out small. Start out with one small thing. And then I want us to get to a place to where we listen without trying to fix folks.
Yes. Yes. That part. That's huge.
We got to stop trying to fix folks. And then also when you think about when people do share, it's so courageous because oftentimes this is the first time that most of them have shared and they were brave enough to share. And when we cut people off or we detour them into what we think they need to be, it minimizes them and makes them feel small, makes them feel as though they didn't matter. I remember a couple of things, so we had like 3 major deaths in the immediate family in 5 years. And so, people come up to you and say some crazy stuff. I'm gonna put it out there. So somebody was like, "Ooh, y'all been going through it. What's been going on with y'all? Y'all been." You think that helps me?
Exactly.
You think I want to hear that? I'm already dealing with a loss, and now I'm trying to understand. Like, am I living right? Are we doing something wrong?
What did I do?
Exactly.
Yes.
So we complicate the grief even more for the person who's already grieving. Yes. So I'm gonna get back on task, Dr. Tonya. Anything you want to add, right? In any of that.
This is also good to me. With what you're sharing. You talked about storytelling. What I have found, a lot of people in grief. I don't know. Has anybody ever asked you, "Oh, I want to do what you do, Danny. I want to go around and speak." Listen.
Can I have?
They want to do that, but you got to where you are by going through it. So he's the grief therapist extraordinaire, the public speaker, writing books all over the world, all of that. But he still had to sit down and do the work. So my first recommendation to people in grief, you got to heal before you start telling the story. Don't get up there trying to preach them. No, sit down.
Yes.
So storytelling is powerful because there's a principle in grief called grief shared is grief diminished.
Yeah.
So the more you share it, the more the pain of grief will diminish.
Exactly.
So that's the second thing. But storytelling is so powerful. It's a therapeutic tool. That's why I tell stories a lot, because people they may not remember the coping mechanism by term or the therapeutic tool, but they'll remember that story that I told. They say, "Oh," and then they'll be able to connect it. Their brain will connect it with the tool that I shared. And the last thing I'll say that's powerful about storytelling, because it helps you to integrate the memories, all of that into this loss. But data changes minds. Stories change the heart.
Yes.
So storytelling is so important. So when we hear stories on TV, we be like, "Oh, help them. Oh, I feel for them."
Exactly.
So, don't minimize storytelling. It's very important. It's definitely a great tool to help.
Right. Well, I was thinking too, and some people, they see the end journey, but they don't realize, like, in addition to my own personal journey in grief, I've had to get some certifications. I've had to get some learning. I've had to go through some other steps. Yeah, I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I can pretty much see people for a number of things.
Yes,
but I want to be the best at it.
Yes,
you hear me?
And you are.
And you're kind. I appreciate you. I want to be the best at it, but my social media director, I just love her because we have some good conversations. And one of the things we talk about, you want to be a public speaker, but you scared to be on Facebook Live. You scared to speak. I don't speak. Oh, I don't speak. You gotta start somewhere.
Yes.
I'm very shy. People don't know
Yes.
this. I'm very, very, very shy. But I'm gonna be deep now but when you're passionate about something,
yes,
and I'm gonna say, and when the anointing is on your life for a
Lord,
thing, it's not you doing the ordering or making things happen. There's these other things that are helping you to get certain things done. Okay, so I'm going tonight. Okay,
you do. Because here's an observation about grief.
Mm-hmm.
Grief changes you. Change is not necessarily bad, but it can be uncomfortable.
That's right.
So in our grief, it evolves as we go through it. Mm-hmm. So the person, the man, the speaker, the teacher, the expert that you are today is because you submitted yourself, you did the work, and now it's like you've been molded into this individual today as a result of all of that pain.
Exactly. And Dr. Tonya, we can't heal what we want are unwilling to talk about.
There's no way.
Know what you're unwilling to talk about. And I was telling someone today, this week in session, I said, this ain't just about this. This is years and years and years and years of ignoring something that what you were messing up on this one, you were messing up on this one. And then like you at this stage to where everything is blown up and you like, how did I get here? Because you didn't pay attention to the signs. I tell people feelings are indicators that something is good, something is wrong, something is going on with you. Why would we avoid recognizing something is going on with us mentally and physically? We go to the doctor when my stomach hurt, when I feel something abnormal, but we won't do it when it comes to our mental health. We know our thoughts are dark. We know our thoughts are abnormal, but because of our conditioning, we tend to, people gonna think I'm crazy. Well, you already crazy.
Listen, crazy for thinking that you're gonna get different results with doing the same thing. It's not going to happen. I love how you said conditioning. So that means we have to, before I can even start helping a lot of my clients with grief, we have to go through deconstructing. If you're in church, we call it dismantling.
Dismantling. That's what we do.
The thought processes and the beliefs that we have before we can even deal with the grief. We got to go through that process. So you are so right in that space that, man, our thinking plays a major part in this process of healing.
Well, I want my listeners, our listeners tonight to go deal with your pain. I want you to put that in the box. Deal with your pain. And it may not be you, but I want you to speak that for somebody else. I want you to stand in their stead and deal with your pain. Stop covering it up. Deal with the pain. I want to take a station break real fast.
Okay.
Dr. Tonya, you've written a book or some things. Tell us about that. I really want to hear about your books and things that you've done or what you got coming up. You're always doing something great.
So this is why, one of the reasons why we say you got to heal, so you can tell the story, and people will pay you to tell your story.
Come on.
So I put my story in a book. I got my marbles back. It's my journey of going through grief after a divorce. I've been married 9 years to a pastor, and I wrote that at 50. And then at 55, I continued to heal, and I was able to release some more. And I wrote my second book called Grief Work is Essential, Not Optional. wrote
Ooh,
that
I
during
love
the
that.
pandemic, because most people think, I don't have to deal with my grief. Yes, you do. You have to deal with
Mhm.
it before it deals with you.
Oh, that's good.
And then last year I released my children's edition,
Yes.
because we need to teach our children about grief as well. So
Hmm.
Chelsea cares and Kaden cares.
Okay.
Those
I
are,
gotta get all of those. I gotta get all
yeah,
of those. I love good literature and I love supporting people I know who have something to say.
yes,
And really they've lived the experience as well. So,
yes.
Dr. Tonya, how do we get those books and how do we contact you if we want
Mhm.
to know more about you or get you to speak or do something like that? How do we connect with you?
Sure, you can go to my website, drtonyacunningham.com.
Okay.
For all of those, you can go there and purchase the books from my website, and I offer a 15-minute complimentary discovery call, which is nothing more than
Hmm.
a consultation. 15
Okay.
minutes, because some of
All
the saints try to get a full session. I said, this is not a session. This is
Come
15 minutes.
on. You stop them, Dr.
I
Tonya.
stop them. I say it's 15 minutes. You don't have to move on. Now, yeah,
We can do
grief
that
taught me that. The
grief.
grief taught me that. That's
Good.
one of the
That's
changes
good.
that I set boundaries and stuff. So yeah,
Mm,
you can go to the
mm,
website
mm.
and book a discovery call, and we can chat to see, if I'm a
Exactly.
good fit, if I need to refer you to Daddy. We're gonna get you where you
We
need to
don't
be,
get you
because
where,
help
but
is available.
you said something that I really appreciate. I am not the person who tries to hold on to people. If you feel like somebody else can help you better, by
Go,
all means,
go.
go.
Yes,
Please do. I had someone
yes.
the other week, and they had been with me for quite some time, and I think they were a little leery about talking to me about it,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Well, it's just, I'm gonna have to start again." I'm like, "Don't let that stop you. You need to take care of you, and as your
That's
therapist, I want you to find that person who speaks to your heart, maybe in a new way right now.
absolutely.
Sometimes they gonna say the same thing I say, but they just don't say it in a new kind of way, and you think they've opened the doors to heaven, but that's okay. You and I know we're all about healing.
That's it.
We're not
That's it.
territorial.
No,
So if
no.
your therapist is trying to hold you too tight, you got to really kind of look at,
That's
is this
right.
working? What do I need to do? And sometimes we get comfortable and we don't want to challenge ourselves. If you
Yes,
stop challenging yourself and your therapist stops challenging you, you may want to consider, is it time to just try something different? That doesn't mean you don't go back,
that's right.
because sometimes you need something more.
Yes.
Um, I'm going to I have my new book. It's called Grief, Gray Hairs, and Growth.
Mm.
I think this is my baby. This
It
is
is.
a book that really changed my life in the sense of really making some sense out of the grief. And as you said too, like the older you get, the more open you are about different things. I'm like, I wouldn't have ever told some of the stuff I'm telling now, but it's something about when you hit 50, take it or leave it. That's what you get. And it's all a part of who I am. And if you get this book, Dr. Tonya has a beautiful forward that she has placed in here for me. It is
Mhm.
so, I want to tell you up front, that was so nicely done. And it's beautiful, beautiful. The last thing I want us to do, Dr. Tonya, is for that person who is getting anxious, that anticipatory grief, they're having that anticipation of the holiday. How do
Mhm.
we deal with that space of it's not quite here, but I'm
Mhm.
really, really anxious about the upcoming, this is what it means, and my kids need a good Christmas, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
let you go with it.
Yeah, so recognizing and acknowledging some of the things that we've stated, that
Mhm.
holidays are different now, because that is
Exactly.
true. I have one client, I was seeing her in February, but her
Mhm.
husband died on Christmas Day, and it
Wow.
was February of that year, but she was already thinking about, what am I going to do for Christmas? So
Mm.
we started planning then in February.
Ooh,
So
that's good.
my encouragement, if you're already anxious about it, start
Mhm.
figuring out what you might want to do. And
What?
don't be afraid to try things, because people say, I may not like it. I say, well, that just lets you know, okay, I don't like doing that. So
Mhm.
you won't do that anymore. but really start forward thinking. Because here's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
we call that an indicator of life. Some people feel like because they feel the pain, oh, I'm not doing better, I should be doing, better in this space because I'm a woman of faith, a man of faith. But the fact that you're able to think way down the year into that means you're forward thinking. That means you're healing, even though the pain is there.
That's good.
Figure out what that plan is going to do and really attempt to create new memories. I had one senior guy, I shared that with him. His wife died, and what he did was he switched the holidays. So he celebrated Christmas on Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving on Christmas. And his family they thought I was crazy. He said, but I really like that idea. You told me to make it mine. And he ended up creating a winter wonderland theme, and he decorated the whole house. He showed it looked like it stepped out of Better Homes and Gardens. He did so well, had this huge tree, and this is how he incorporated his grief. He made the Christmas tree a memorial tree. Wow. And he put pictures not only of his wife, but all of his siblings on the tree.
I love that.
That was his way of honoring them and remembering them, but he planned out what he wanted to do. So that's my encouragement. When you're anxious already, plan it out. Number 2, connect with somebody, be it a family member or a friend, so that they can help you in this space and not overwhelm you. Because when you have so many people around you, and too many voices can overwhelm you. And it is absolutely okay to spend some time alone. If you don't want to go to the family function, you can say, thank you for inviting me, because everybody's going to want you to come by the house because they don't want you to be by yourself.
Exactly.
Sometimes you do need that alone time. And just let somebody know, say, hey, thank you so much. I'm not going to be able to come, but I appreciate you inviting me.
Right. How do we deal with, oftentimes people are there for us during those holiday seasons. And I start thinking about, I'm ready for this season to be over with already. Around the end of September, I start feeling it. And after, I'm ready for it to be over January 2nd. But during those times, how do we still have a sense of normalcy while still being honest with where we are? I want some normalcy. I want to participate to a degree, but I also want to honor, my loved ones and let them know that I want to be with them. Is that possible?
Absolutely, it is. When you talk about, you said you want some normalcy, but that has to be created. So you have to create that. What is that going to look like? One of the popular things that a lot of people do now during the holiday season, people in grief, is they travel.
Okay, I like that. They
travel. So versus staying home, some people travel, but you have to create what that normalcy will be. You have to create that. Yeah. And what was the other part? You said something prior to that. You said you want some normalcy.
But I also want to honor myself in just, I'm really a quiet person. I like my quiet time. I like being alone because that's where I get my energy.
Yeah.
And that's so people misinterpret that sometimes. They do. Like you don't want to be around people. No, I'm around people all day.
All the time.
I'm talking to people and I'm just like, sometimes I want to honor me. And so I like what we're talking about. Like, I don't want to distort that and make it what somebody else needs it to be. But I know I need to honor myself and have some downtime.
You just answered it. Honor yourself. And so that's when that speaks to when I mentioned earlier about the best way to honor your loved one's memory who died is to live well, honoring yourself. And you need that. You do need a lot of alone time.
You do.
In that space. And the truth is, many people will misinterpret your expression, whether you were in grief or not, but that's on them, not you. So you want to be able to set that boundary. I went on vacation with a group of ladies and they brought it to my attention that I wasn't talking. And I forgot. I said, I forgot to tell y'all. I said, I'm on vacation. We will make vacation together. I say, I talk for a living. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go do all the other stuff. I just want to be still. And so the old Tonya before healing would have adapted and aligned with what they were doing. But you have to just be true to who you are and be okay, because the truth is a lot of people won't understand your journey, and that's okay. You have to find your tribe. Put that in the chat. Find your tribe.
Put it in the chat. Find your tribe.
Yeah.
Not somebody else's.
No.
Not 20 years ago.
No.
Your tribe. The tribe that's true and tested and willing to be there with you.
Yes. And a lot of times that tribe is also, and I elevated that after going through my healing process too. I used to say village. It takes a village to raise a child. I said it takes a village to help you through grief. Then I elevated it to a tribe, and then I elevated it to a trauma team. Because some of you are dealing with trauma and grief. Those are two different things. Not all grief is traumatic.
It's not.
And so it will impact your experience. You talked about disenfranchised grief. So there are different types of grief. So you have to find the people, the tribe, the trauma team. So when we have trauma, they take you to the trauma specialist.
Come on.
They don't take you to the regular PCP. A PCP, your primary care, can't handle that. So that's why when you're dealing with grief, you need to go to a grief specialist. Because your average person will not be able to do that. So finding your tribe and knowing, you said it earlier, knowing who has the capacity to do what.
Exactly.
Who has the capacity to meet you emotionally. Who has the capacity to deal with you mentally and things like that, because everybody doesn't have that.
And you said this is something I want to piggyback off of. It's like sometimes I also hear, well, I got my friend Susie. Well, Susie gonna be woe out if you don't get some other friends in your life. I got friends for different things.
Yes.
And so Susie can't be your only friend to talk about grief with, because what's gonna happen with Susie? Susie gonna look at that phone and say, not today. Not today. So spread out the love, spread the support. There are people who want to help you and be there for you. However, you putting on this good old face that you don't need anybody, say yes.
Say
yes sometimes. Say yes.
Yes.
I want some of y'all to say yes sometimes. In the chat, say yes. Say yes. Good. I want you to say yes instead of being, I'm from the real South. I'm from Mississippi, where they teach you to be modest, and your head you can't have a big head. Can't have a big head. So I always tell people there's no way I can have a big head, because my mom really taught that skill well.
Yeah.
And so as we wrap up, Dr. Tonya, if you had some parting words for those of us who we want to get through the holidays, but we also want to, I don't want to call it get back to your old self. You want to have some sense of normalcy. We talk about, is that possible? Is that possible? How do we do that? How do we become a part of what's happening and not just really pull away? Or just anything you want to share about grief in these last few moments?
Okay. One thing I did want to, you were talking just earlier about Susie. My encouragement or a tip to say to people when you call them and you need support, you ask them, do you have the capacity to listen to me right now? You want to ask them that. Do you have the capacity to listen to me right now? And then you can start sharing your grief with them. So ask Susie the next time you call Susie, I'm having a grief moment. You got the capacity. If Susie say, nah, okay, thank you so much for your honesty. And then you call somebody else. But the closing, is that good?
No, that's good. That's good, because I have clients who need that. And it's a simple thing, but it's so true.
So
asking where people are. Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
So yes, closing again, just knowing that the holidays are already here, they're upon us. So my question to each of you that are on the line that are grieving, what are your holiday plans? If you plan again what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, plan who you're going to spend it with, knowing that, and simple is best. So you're normally this big festive person, you're going all out doing all of these decorations. You don't have to do all of that. Okay. Or delegate some of the responsibilities out, or you don't even have to put up decorations at all. It is absolutely okay. It's still going to be the Thanksgiving holiday. It's still going to be Christmas. But really, I think the best advice as it relates to coping with it is being open. What do I mean being open? Being open to new, and being, when I say new, not just new things, new experiences, but a new mindset. Ooh, I feel that.
Come on.
Lord.
Come on. Let him use
open to a new mindset, a new way of thinking that will cause you to do things that you hadn't done before. Are you scared? Yes, because that's how healing takes place, is through vulnerability. But keep it simple. Keep it simple.
That's good.
Keep it simple.
Good. Well, I want to say to you, Dr. Tonya, thank you so much for being here with me this evening. I always have a good time because it's just like talking to an old good friend, and we just, and you can go there with me. Ain't nothing like somebody who can go there with you and you ain't got to worry about it. Like we were, it's nice. It's nice to have friends who get you.
Yes.
I do want to share with you that I have a holiday bundle for those of you who are going through this holiday season alone or with others. Sometimes we don't want to talk about different things. I'm offering a holiday bundle where you can get it on my website. You can go to the messages.net at Danny Ross. Go to the messages.net/Danny Ross. It's a holiday. There it is, the holiday bundle available. So what you get is like 40 videos daily that start the day before Thanksgiving, and then they end the day after the New Year. And then you get a journal and a workbook for the low cost of $47 flat.
It's so good.
Get that stuff. Use the stuff. People are doing this stuff to help you. Get those resources so you can be better. Thank you again so much. I thank so much Project Smith for being with us tonight and organizing this and putting all of this together. I'm so thankful for you, and I'm thankful for the audience for coming out tonight. Thank you for being with us, and we bid you a blessed holiday season. And we want you to know that we love you. We care about you. And if you don't find support that you need, I know both of us, you can just call us. We're going to lead you into the right direction if you need something more. All right. Go ahead.
I forgot to mention that I have a holiday event coming up this Saturday.
Sure do.
That's right. It's at the Nehemiah Coffee Shop in the Arlington area. So if you're in Fort Worth or Dallas, you can come. This Saturday, the 15th, it's from 5 to 7. We're going to have some grief education. We're going to have some coffee, that kind of thing. And we're going to have a little dancing. Dancing.
We can dance.
You can dance in grief. Yes. And we're going to have a spoken word specifically for people in grief. It's a $20 donation. So you can certainly go on my Facebook page and Instagram, and the links are there to register. It's only a $20 donation, valued at, again, several hundred, because I'm going to be teaching several $100s. So get the bundle that's only $47, valued at, again, several $100s what you're getting. So help is available, and this is our gift to you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you.
Most definitely. We appreciate you, and we look forward to, we got some things in the back burner that we working on. We're going to let you know. But listen about around May or June. Come around May or June. We got something bubbling right now, and we're working on it. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great night and a great holiday season. We're here to help you. If you need anything from us, I can get you in touch with Dr. Tonya. She can get you, vice versa. We're going to get you the help you need. Have a great holiday season. We will see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.